What's up, guys? Week 6. I'm 5-0. Looks like I'm playing Washington again. I demolished them the first time I played them. See what their DM's got to say. He loves hitting QBs. Blah, blah, blah. Here, let's intimidate him. It's gonna be a slugfest. I gotta give up 2 or fewer sacks. Alright. So they got Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Terry McLaurin. Let's get it started. Both rated 83. If you don't play Madden, usually there's music playing, and I had to turn it off because on my videos I kept getting copyright messaging because the music it plays is copyrighted, so I can't have it in the video.
Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Washington football team.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Washington football team. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game.
There's my guy.
And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what.
Don't let Barkley get hot.
And find the creases that they provide. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Oh, he's tired.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. And he'll give it here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0. Then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Here we go, 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he dropped it.
Up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, man.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay.
Yeah. No punting this time.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Giants with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep here in MetLife Stadium.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Barkley. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Come on. Block that guy right there. You ready?
They'll try to run for it with Barkley.
Get off.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Wide open. Big asshole. Did you see the size of that hole?
9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are going to take a 1st quarter lead.
First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives,
Lord.
Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive,
kicker.
and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Edmonds, he's just going to sit on this one.
Run that out?
Touchback. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And here's a look at their leader.
Roy
standing
Cleveland.
6'4".
whoever
he had
he
the
is.
numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Stop him. First play. Come on.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Cleveland. Into the secondary, past the 40. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers
None
and
of
grab
that.
the completion for a really good pickup.
Throwing on first down.
Cleveland. And yet again, it's McLaurin.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
Yeah, this guy right there is
The
dangerous.
numbers for McLaurin a week ago.
7 catches, 104 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And he's got the hook up to Moore.
Yeah, you heard that.
Goes
#1.
a gain of 4. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I think I'm #1 defense every year.
They'll look to throw again. And he finds McLaurin. And he gets it to the 34. Good
Go
enough
ahead,
for
keep
the
giving him
first.
the ball. I'll injure
Well,
him.
these two teams met at MetLife
Beat
Stadium
'em up.
earlier this year with the Giants winning that one. So they are looking for the sweep here at MetLife.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, yeah, they're going to try it.
Looking to throw. Cleveland.
Get out of
That'll be
here.
incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Back to throw. Cleveland. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Pass.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Nowhere to go.
Oh, that's mine.
And who's got it? The Giants. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy
Chris
for him
Jones.
back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to
back to
move
the run.
around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the #1 thing, take care of the football.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk
Play
away
action.
from that feeling like, okay,
Send
I can stand up when the going gets tough in
Galladay
here.
on a streak. And
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay.
oh,
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra
come on,
speed on the
Galladay.
field.
You could have put a little
Guys who
more
have ball
effort in that.
skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
Oh,
You
somebody's
nailed every
hurt.
part of what was frustrating. down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had
Not
pushed
gonna
it
show me.
past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this team is just going
why would you give me that guy?
and set them down.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed,
nice
picking up
blocking.
the first. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
To throw on second down, Cleveland. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
That's right. Can't let them get momentum. We got to stop them right
It'll be
here.
second down.
They score,
Looks
they're
like he
going to
was
gain
trying to
momentum.
bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the close fist of the
they're
referee.
going to go for it?
And that means 4th down.
Ladies and
Kick the
gentlemen,
field
that
goal.
is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Seibert able to knock this one through.
Just got
And
it.
they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one
Damn,
for
they
them.
scored
They
off
forced the
my
interception,
interception.
put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Now I got to be more cautious.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end.
Why you step out of bounds?
For only a couple, it brings up third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
He'll drop to throw.
Wow.
Galladay is going to be intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily.
No,
I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Cleveland finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Rondell Moore, the intended target.
Better throw that ball.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
They got that first down.
Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Back to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Mahomes does that all the time.
That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play. Understands what
touchdown, Washington.
Touchdown.
A great play there as the first half is winding down. And Washington has taken the lead.
Come on, show this replay.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside.
Show the line.
Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
Wow.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete.
Oh, should have just went down. Should have played one more play.
Before he's brought down. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Looks like they're going to make me earn it.
They got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway.
They're going to make me earn this one.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. So here is Washington now to take over. They've got the lead here, trying to make amends for that loss last week against the Denver Broncos.
Halftime.
They start this drive now 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. On 1st down, Cleveland. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Open space inside the 10. Touchdown! Saquon Barkley. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the
Can't leave Barkley.
Jump back in front. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create
Wide
mismatches
open.
because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14 to 10. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Edmonds, he's just going to sit on this one, and that'll be a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive,
Nice
very important.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Cleveland. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Back to throw. Cleveland, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And now here's a carry heading left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now they try the right side here. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again.
That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed, able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss?
On 3rd down, Cleveland steps away to his
Wow.
left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
Going for it. Come on, guys. Stuff it.
Looking to throw. Cleveland. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
He's
Wow.
had trouble finding open receivers all game,
That
CD.
should have
That's
been
because
enter.
really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Come on, guys. Let's get off the field.
Operating from the gun. Cleveland.
Throwing it
It
away.
is incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And boy, is he close. Did he get there?
No.
No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The fullback dive held up short. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Damn. That guy comes
And he
through
went
every
nowhere.
time.
He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. For left side, it's complete. And out across
Do a
midfield
little
down to the
dance.
45.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw. That's caught by Galladay. And he's taken
caught
down
by both of them.
inside the 30. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. third down, Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Giants add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off.
Oh, they might bring this one out. Look at that.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Back to throw. Cleveland. That one is slant to McLaurin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Wow.
Nice throw here right side.
All my guys just standing around out there.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone
Enough
here
for
at the
that.
22-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Complete. This is Lewis. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a short return.
Why I don't worry. My
10
defense
at the
is
8-yard
nasty.
line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. But look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side.
Get out of
taken in by
here.
Galladay. Touchdown, Giants. Kenny Galladay, 92 yards. And the
Yeah,
Giants look like
baby.
they're going to be moving to 6-0 as they extend
That's
that
right.
lead even further.
Own the
Still
second
throwing
half.
with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now.
I'm going to score again.
Touchdown, Richter to kick off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one.
Oh!
But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Looking to throw. Cleveland. They'll try and set up the screen.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
He's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
These guys turned into Iron Man.
First down call as the screenplay gets them 9.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen. And it turns into a nice positive play.
Oh, my guy's diving the other way.
He'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Oh, got blocked.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he is tackled inside.
I don't know, guys. He looked like he was ahead of the line of scrimmage when he threw that one. Could be wrong.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Back to throw. Cleveland.
Oh, I thought I took it away again.
That throw good for only
catching everything.
3rd down.
They're catching everything.
Looking to throw. Cleveland. And that is incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions.
Thank you.
Nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Touchdown, Washington. Rondale Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. Seibert on for the PAT. And that one makes this
I think they dropped 1
deficit now.
catch that game.
So
that drive.
Total 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Yeah. All I got to do really is run the clock, but... I'm a little mad about that last drive. They scored.
They'll go to Barkley again. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. On 3rd down, Barkley. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Muscles him off. And they'll have it in the red zone before
He's going to come back anyway. Holding.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty. It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Not against my rivals. Run
After
this
the
shit
penalty,
right down
they go
their
with
throat.
Barkley.
Hito!
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field.
Uh-oh.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Hit the eye. That guy's hurt.
That one looks like he'll throw here. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have pretty well.
Oh, I had a feeling they were going to do that.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above.
Come on, show his feet.
They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
All right.
To review the play,
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise
Wow.
victory. But it does not
Really,
appear
dude?
that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
defense.
About broke his neck with it.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about
That's
a play
ridiculous.
that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Charles, we saw a lot of points
That's
go
crazy
up
game.
in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Giants, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now
Wow,
through the
they had
first month and a half. And they will hit the
304
road next
passing
week
yards.
to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Washington, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
All right. See you next week.